Hey there, Emily Stamets here, life coach for help you to create a Broadway-worthy life that you're absolutely obsessed with living so that you can wake up every day stoked to be you. Now today I'm thinking really hard about questions, all right? So first what I want to do is just point you to the link in the video description, which is going to give you my blog post with all 17 essential questions that every theatrical woman needs to be asking herself on a regular basis. But I just wanted to also hop on video and talk a little bit about why I'm thinking about this. So I feel like the new year is such a great time for asking questions, right? We're all in this space of like, what was 2017 about? What is 2018 going to be about, right? Like, what did I do well? What do I want to do differently? What do I actually want for myself? What do I need to change about my life, right? Like, what is it all for? What's the purpose? We're asking all these big, big questions for ourselves. And what I'm seeing a lot happening is, you know, women kind of floundering and being like, I don't even know like what questions to ask. I don't even know how to get started in this reflection and goal setting process. How do I know what to even ask myself in order to create the clarity that I really want to feel in my life? So here's the secret, okay, that I really want you to know today. You already know the questions. You ask these questions every single day in rehearsal. Every time you walk into table work or, you know, a walkthrough or a read through, or even when you're just sitting and watching your friend's show, you're asking these questions every single second. They're the same questions we need to be asking about our lives, right? These questions are things like, what is this play even about? That's a huge one to be asking ourselves. What is it about? What is the protagonist learning, right? What is the journey here? What do I want? Who's my audience? And what do I want them to feel or learn? Or how do I want them to be different? How do I want the world to be changed after they walk out of my theater after curtain call, right? Am I using my limitations as a catalyst to be even more creative? Or am I letting restrictions on budget, space, and time limit myself? Right? And like really the most important question that we ask all the time, that every time you walk into a movie that puts you to sleep or a show that you're like, why am I even here? Do I care? Right? Is there something about this that is keeping me in my seat? What is it about this show or these characters or this story that's keeping me here, that I care about, that I'm emotionally connected to? If we start turning these questions that we ask all the time, just instinctively, right, as just people with a theater background, right, or any background in the arts or performance, we ask these questions instinctually, but then we like walk out of the theater and it just shuts down and we stop asking these questions completely and we just go back to like survival, right? Of just like eating whatever's there and like watching TV because it's there and hanging out with people who are there just because they're there, instead of being intentional the way that we are in our stage work. So if we start taking those questions that we already know, that we already ask instinctually just by habit, that drive us to create, you know, shows that are beautiful, that are really works of art and that are transcendent in some way, if we start asking those questions about our own lives, we can walk into our lives and out of our lives with that same sense of clarity and transcendence and intentionality that really creates a beautiful, beautiful life that you'll be excited to wake up and live every single day. Yeah? All right, so I put together a list of 17 questions that I kind of surveyed all of my theatrical ladies in my community and came up with a, you know, we're looking at everything. We're looking at from the point of view of what if you were a producer? What questions would you ask about your life, right? How am I spending my money, my time, and my energy in my life? Is it aligned with the purposes and the goals of this production, right? Is my life, am I spending money in my life the way that I need to be spending it in order to live the life that I want to live? So we're looking at from productions, from costume, from scenic, from lighting, from performance standpoints, every viewpoint of the theater, taking those questions and putting them on our own lives and asking them about our own lives in order to create clarity. So I put together 17 questions that are, I think, the most essential questions that we all need to be asking on a regular basis about our own lives in order to create that intentionality and clarity. Those are in the blog post that's in the link in the video description. And this conversation is happening in my free Facebook community. You can get there at broadway-worthy.life.com, no spaces, no punctuation, and join the conversation conversation and start asking these questions and answering these questions with other women and femme folks who are like-minded and who are also on a quest to really figure out who we are, what our lives are about, and how we can start to create the lives that we're dreaming of and the work that we really feel like we're put here to create. All right, I hope to see you there in the community. Check out the blog post for those 17 questions and let me know what you think. You can email me anytime, hello@emilystamets.com, and I will see you there. Until then, live a Broadway-worthy life. Bye.